Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Almighty loving God, we thank you for this evening. We continue our meditations, knowing your life in us. We have known that there are many things, and many times we go overboard and we drift away from you from time to time. For all those times, we ask sorry, we ask pardon and forgiveness. And now teach us to nurture the times also that are good, the times that we share and experience your love, the times that we truly are connected to you in the life of grace and favor. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please be seated. The second part in this second meditation, the title is Life to the Fullest is found in the divine order. Life belongs to God. Logic will tell us to always capture life in its fullness is in God's order, in remaining in keeping His commandments, in remaining seeking always His presence. And that is why, again, I list down 7 of these ways that we can cultivate life to the fullest in us. Because it is possible to have life to the fullest here in this life, and which will have no end in the next. The first way, life to the fullest in the divine order in this life, earthly life, comes in small packages. We have the saying, precious things comes in small boxes. Because in the Bible, in the scriptures, as well as in theology and our doctrine, or the principle that we use is the idea of foretaste. We only foretaste everything. And so, it is now, and we can already experience it in a foretasting manner. And that is why all the things that we experience, good things, happiness, friendship, community, success, all of that are actually God's gift to make us able to foretaste life to the fullest. All we have to do is cultivate our search and multiplication of those moments. What are these moments? These moments happen always when we are in a godly way. Think of this. Events that happen in life that you are, or the happiest that you are. Think of those times. You are in the happiest of your life. Think of those times. They are those times that actually you are in goodness. You are in the godly way. And so, let us remind ourselves that in order to experience life to the fullest, we must multiply goodness. We must multiply friendships. We must multiply God's presence. If we are at home, where is God's presence? At home, God's presence is through you and me, doing the good thing and the right thing. At work, we can enjoy work and truly be happy at work when we do the good thing and the right thing. The second, life to the fullest can be found not only in a small package that comes to us, but life to the fullest comes by way of order, by way of harmony in life. Life of order comes in using our time. God give us time. I would like us to pray, and I will read. Pray in your heart as I read. This song of Fullest or Ecclesiastes. And we know this hymn. There is a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet, no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God, the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. You see, life to the fullest can be found in this life, in a way of order. There is time for everything. And that is why when we can actually live each moment of our life well, then we have captured life to the fullest. That is why, if there is time for everything, time to work, time to sleep, time to go to mass, time to go to the mall. Now, many times, we have that time, but we don't enjoy the time. Why? Because we're thinking of someone else, right? Some people go to mass, they're looking at their watch so that they can right away go out after communion. Where is time? You say it's time for mass, then time for mass. Time to go to church, then time to go to church. Don't think of the mall, because you will have time for the mall, right? And that is why we many times do not capture the life to the fullest, because the time allotted in the very moment of time, we do not live well. There is time for a family, for example, time to be with the family, enjoy it. So, time, order. When there is order, there is harmony. When there is harmony in life, that is life to the fullest. We can embrace life in itself. And that is why Fullest or Ecclesiastes is correct. This is gift of God. Therefore, every time we are given, enjoy that time and finish it well. Let us never fall into temptation of not valuing each time given to us, because otherwise we will miss living life to the fullest in the right moment that God has given us. Third, the life to the fullest is also by way of values. The values. The value of things and the people around us, the value that we have in life. Values give us the sense of what is important and what is not important. Necessary or not necessary. We know values so that we can prioritize things. We can prioritize our life. If we cannot prioritize our life and know the values of our life, chances are we cannot live life to the fullest. And precisely, this is very much connected to the use of time. Order. What is important must be important. What is not important must not be important. You know, when we have good set of priorities, we live life qualitatively. Quality life is life to the fullest. Do you know why people would like to live long? Generally, we want to live long because we would like to cope up with the time that we have lost because we didn't value the time before. Tell me if I am wrong. If I am wrong, I am sorry. But actually, there is a great truth to that. When we value each moment, when we value the person in front of us, when we value family, when we value good work, we live a quality life. Quality life. And when there is quality life, that is life to the fullest. Because God is there. A lot of people would like to live quality life. But in searching for quality life, they end up actually falling into the 7 ways that we said before. And that is why, knowing now what kind of values we have, the set of priorities we have, knowing the kind of time we have, every present moment is God-given moment. Every present moment with a person, with a community, with a family is of value. Because Kohelet said, this is gift of God. Quality life is life with value. And this is living life to the fullest. Do you live a quality life? How do you characterize your life at the moment? The fourth, therefore, now is life of communion. Life to the fullest can be experienced when we are with everybody, when we are sharing life. Life is to be shared, not to be lived alone. We are born into a family for a purpose of sharing life of the family. Then the family is born into a community because life is to be lived in communion. God is God of communion. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. A community of persons. That is why life to the fullest is captured in every actions that we have as a community or as family. Do you not enjoy when there is a party? When there is cordiality, when there is friendship, I always enjoy. I believe you do. Life in itself is a life of communion. It's a kind of a party that God has brought us into this party called life. And each one of us has a performance to make. Imagine if you are invited into a party and you are not going to dance when it is time to dance. You are not going to sing when it is time to sing. What kind of person are you in a party? God gave us this life to enjoy it with everybody. That is why we have to nurture our being church. We have to nurture our being a parish. We have to nurture our being a family. In all of these, there is God's gift of living life to the fullest. Life of communion is the secret of capturing life to the fullest, even in this life. What is the challenge to this? Many times we are in a community and yet we tend to be segregative. We tend to be selective of people. Hey, I like him. I don't like him. I like her. I don't like her. Where is communion with that? There is no party when we cannot relate with everybody. We are stressed because, oh, this person that I don't like is here close to me. Our Christian faith, our Christian life is not only to be lived here in church. We bring outside as well. And that is where we truly cultivate our faith in communion. Number 5. Life to the fullest is being anchored, mind and heart, in God. Life of faith is anchoring ourselves in God. In the gospel that we have read, remain in me as I remain in the Father, and I will also remain in you. Remain in my love. This is anchoring in Jesus Christ. If we can always nurture and cultivate the awareness of seeking always our connection with Jesus Christ, then we will always be anchored in God. The anchoring of ourselves in God happens actually in concrete. And this can be in concrete by always thinking of what matters to God. Whatever matters to God, then if we are into it, then we are always anchored in God. But many times, many events, many situations, that God doesn't matter to us. Examples. Why are some of the famous and wealthy and the powerful people, I already mentioned, some of them put bullet into their head. They commit suicide. Well, we do not know what happens to them. We do not know what is happening in their life. Precisely, that is why we do not judge why they did what they did. But just in ordinary thinking, how can one commit suicide when you have everything, practically? You have everything. You are successful, you have money, you are rich, you have house there, you have house here, everything you have, and so you can enjoy life. Why put a bullet into your head? See, there is contradiction. And what is the answer to the contradiction? When God does not matter in life, then life will not matter at all. And that is why when God does not matter, therefore life will not matter. So you put a bullet on your head. Meanwhile, there is also another contradiction. There are some very poor people, and yet they are smiling genuinely. That's contradiction, right? Why is it that they are smiling? That's a contradiction. The answer to that is, when God matters, life also matters. Life is worth living, even in the crucible times. When God matters, even in crucible times, life is worth living. That is why, if we want always to be anchored in God, God must matter to us every moment about. And when God matters to us, God will also consider us that we matter to Him. And when we matter to Him, He blesses us all the more. Discover this in your life. Let's go to the number 6. The sixth way to experience life to the fullest is a life of giving. The Eucharistic life, life of self-donation, life of charity, life of generosity. The Eucharist is the sacrament of self-giving love, selfless love. Anyone who eats my flesh and drinks my blood has life in its fullness. These are living words from Jesus Christ. Now, our life as Christians, our life anchored in Him, if we have to live each moment of our life in a joyful way, in a contented way, in a satisfied way, life with smiles, we have to learn to be a giver. We have to learn to be charitable. We have to learn to be generous. Father, I already give. I already give to the church. I already give to this. I already give to that. Of course, I'm not saying that you are not. Now continue it. And many times you see, to be consistent giver, to be persevering in charity, many times can be fearful. We are afraid, humanly speaking. Because we think many times, of course, giving is minus, right? I have 100. I am going to give 20. Minus 20 equals 80, right? 80 minus. But in God, the way God sees it is not minus. Actually, still addition and even multiplication. Because this is how God calculates. 100 minus 20 equals 80. The 20 that you give already is in heaven. The 80 that is equals is the interest. 100-fold already. Do you want the equals to be here? The 100-fold to be here? It will be given to you in His time. God gives us that. And that is why every moment of our life, when God gives us opportunities to give in the capacity that God has given you. When God gave His life, did He lose it? Humanly speaking, will say yes. That's why He died. But divinely speaking, will say no. He multiplied His life in you and me. He gave His life totally. This is Eucharistic life. Did He lose His life? The answer actually is no. He didn't lose it. He multiplied His life in all of us. That's gaining. That's life, Eucharist. And that's our life. Every time we come to Mass, we celebrate the Mass. We take on His life into us. When we go out of the church, we give away our life, our smiles, our joy, our sharing, our time, our values, our talents. And in all of this, we are not only multiplying our life, we are making the world we live in a better place. Life is a cycle of receiving and giving. Giving and receiving. It's a cycle of that. When we just receive and do not give, we stop the cycle. And when we stop that cycle of giving and receiving, we hoard. And when we hoard, we die. The Dead Sea has a lot of minerals and it's very salty, they say. Because all the rivers, they say, or the sea that goes to it, and river and creeks that goes to it, it is the end point, and it just is stuck up there. There is nothing that lives there. When we also stop the cycle of giving and receiving, when we do not give, we hoard into ourselves. And when we hoard into ourselves many things, we fall into many vices. And when we have many vices, it's now the emptying of one's life. And that is why the beauty of life is in the cycle of receiving from God and giving it away. Being blessed and becoming a blessing to others. Being loved and we are enabled to love. Number 7. Life to the fullest doesn't mean denial of suffering. Life to the fullest is also captured in the life of suffering. Jesus Christ said in the Bible, in the Gospels, take up your cross. If you want to be my disciple, take up your cross and follow me. Why would Jesus command that crosses be carried? If we think that life to the fullest is just about enjoying life, because it is in suffering that we can also find the meaning of virtues, the meaning of being responsible to go to heaven. Heaven is not cheap. That is why also in our daily life, we also have to put into our mindset, accept crosses, accept difficulties. A person who knows how to carry crosses are mature persons. Persons who are always murmuring and lamenting, they are actually immature persons. If you are immature in your faith, no wonder you will be murmuring against God. To ask ourselves, how mature am I? How responsible am I in relation to my faith and love of God? Because God, loving me, He embraced suffering for me in the cross. What will I do in relation to God? Be mature and responsible in the love of God. We also embrace suffering. Because suffering is not a hindrance to a beautiful life. Life is a mission in itself. That when we carry the cross, this is the mission. And when with that cross, we can say with Jesus, it is finished. Consumatum est. Mission accomplished. On our dying day, we will say, Lord, thank you for the life lived. It was a good ride. Mission accomplished. What kind of life do you think will you have from today until your dying day? You see, life is beautiful, not only because we can laugh, we can smile. Jesus says, remain in me as I remain in you. Remain in my love as I remain in my Father's love. And it is in this that I give you my joy, and your joy will be complete. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.